I'm like, he's the oddball. And I know they got different moms, so I get it.
Right.
But I'm like, I don't know about that one.
His mind was like always on 1,000, like always. And it's good in a lot of ways, but then, it's always a price to pay. I don't care what you do.
Could it be that Justin Combs, the son we all believed was Sean Diddy Combs' firstborn, isn't actually his biological child? That's the rumor swirling around the internet, and it's shaking up the narrative we've always accepted about Diddy's family. The whispers suggest that Justin might truly be the son of Anthony Wolf Jones, Diddy's former bodyguard and closest confidant. If true, this revelation would flip the script on everything we thought we knew about Diddy's personal life, raising questions about loyalty, betrayal, and just how far Diddy might go to cover up a scandal this big.
It's a question of that, but when you read through the indictment, it's pretty clear who could be indicted as a co-conspirator. Right now, there are people in the indictment who would be considered unnamed co-conspirators, but clearly have played a role in this conspiracy. And I think prosecutors have some big leverage on them because they're hoping that they testify against Diddy as prosecution witnesses.
Let's take a step back and dig into the details. Justin Combs has always been presented as Diddy's eldest son, born in December 1993 to Misa Hylton, a well-known stylist who was dating Diddy in the early 1990s. Diddy's relationship with Misa was one of the first high-profile romances he had, long before he became the global mogul we know today. But here's where things get murky. Rumors have surfaced that Anthony Wolf Jones, Diddy's longtime bodyguard and one of his closest allies, could be Justin's real father. The timeline is significant because around the time Justin was born, Wolf was a constant presence in Diddy's life, not just as a bodyguard, but as a key figure in Diddy's rise to fame.
Do you think that Diddy is actually Justin's father?
I wasn't there. But
For years, Wolf was more than just the muscle behind Diddy's bad boy empire. He was the man who handled Diddy's security, his business dealings, and, according to many, his darkest secrets. Wolf was known for being fiercely loyal, protecting Diddy during some of the most volatile times in hip-hop, including the infamous East Coast-West Coast feud that took the lives of Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. But Wolf's loyalty wasn't just about keeping Diddy physically safe, it extended far deeper into Diddy's personal affairs. And that's where the rumor mill starts to churn. It's said that Wolf didn't just protect Diddy, he also knew everything about his inner circle, including his relationships and family matters. Fans have pointed out that Justin bears a striking resemblance to Wolf, more so than to Diddy, especially when you compare old photos of Wolf and Justin at the same age. Some have even gone so far as to run facial recognition tests, with results allegedly showing a stronger resemblance between Justin and Wolf than between Justin and Diddy. While there's no hard proof to confirm these claims, it's enough to get people talking and questioning.
But there's also strategic reasons for the prosecutors to want him to have co-defendants, because right now he hasn't waived his right to a speedy trial, which would force prosecutors to take up the trial pretty quick, which they actually might not be ready to do. But if they supersede him and have co-defendants with him, it makes it a lot easier to pursue a trial continuance without him waiving his speedy trial right.
The theory that Wolf could be Justin's biological father has been floating around for years. But it wasn't until more recently, with Diddy's mounting legal troubles and past scandals coming to light, that people started taking it seriously. You see, Wolf's demise under mysterious circumstances adds another layer of intrigue to this story. Wolf was taken out in 2003 after what was reported as a heated argument outside an Atlanta nightclub. The official story is that Wolf got into a dispute with another man, and things escalated quickly. But some believe there's more to it, suggesting that Wolf's demise might have been a calculated move to silence him before he could reveal damaging information about Diddy and his empire.
And then in 2003, Wolf gets during a situation with BMF,
right,
which he ended up shooting first, and they returned fire. I was actually I actually ended up being flown out by BMF like right around that time, and I was at Big Meech's house while he still had the ankle monitor.
At the time of Wolf's demise, Diddy was already a massive figure in the entertainment industry, and the stakes were high. Losing someone as close to him as Wolf was a major blow, both personally and professionally. But in the years that followed, rumors began to circulate that Wolf may have been privy to some of Diddy's most closely guarded secrets, including the truth about Justin's paternity. And could it be that Diddy had reason to keep Wolf quiet? Some believe that Wolf knew too much, and that his loyalty came with a price one that Diddy might have been unwilling to pay. Then there's Misa Hylton, Justin's mother, who has had her own complicated history with Diddy. Misa was one of Diddy's earliest serious relationships, and while their romance didn't last, they've remained connected through their son, Justin. but it hasn't always been smooth sailing between Misa and Diddy. Over the years, Misa has been vocal about her struggles with Diddy, particularly when it comes to child support and the way he treated her during their relationship. In fact, there was a notable disparity in the child support payments Diddy provided for Justin compared to the support he gave his other children, particularly his son Christian, whom he shared with the late Kim Porter. Misa reportedly received far less, about $552 a month, in comparison to the tens of thousands Kim was awarded for Christian.
Now, earlier this week, Justin was busted in Beverly Hills for running a red light. Then police discovered he was driving under the influence.
This discrepancy has led to speculation that Diddy might have known Justin wasn't biologically his, and that this knowledge influenced his financial support. But if Diddy had doubts about Justin's paternity, why would he continue to claim him as his own? Some speculate that Diddy, ever the businessman, saw value in maintaining the image of a devoted father to these young men, especially as Justin's star began to rise in his own right, attending UCLA and playing college football. But could there have been another reason for Diddy's involvement in Justin's life? Was it about loyalty to Misa or a desire to control the narrative? Let's not forget that Diddy has a history of adopting or taking on the father role for children who aren't biologically his. He famously adopted Quincy, the son of his former partner Kim Porter and Al B. Shore, raising him as his own and giving him the same opportunities as his biological children. So the idea that Diddy would raise Justin even if he wasn't his biological son isn't far-fetched. In fact, it fits with Diddy's pattern of taking on fatherhood roles, whether for personal reasons or to maintain his image as a family man.
Damn. How your son look like your best friend?
But what if there was more to it than just image? Some have theorized that Diddy's involvement in Justin's life might have been a way to keep Misa and perhaps even Wolf under his control. By claiming Justin as his own, Diddy could have ensured that Wolf remained loyal and that any secrets Wolf held would stay buried. After all, Wolf was in a position to know more about Diddy's life than almost anyone else, and if he had reason to believe that Justin was his son, that could have complicated things for Diddy in ways we can only imagine. The tension between Diddy and Justin has come to a head in recent months, adding fuel to the fire of this rumor. In late 2023, Diddy faced a series of lawsuits and scandals, including one involving his former girlfriend, Cassie. Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of a range of disturbing behaviors, and while Diddy initially denied the allegations, he later made a public apology, acknowledging that his actions in a leaked video were indefensible. In the midst of this scandal, Diddy's children were put in the uncomfortable position of choosing sides. While most of Diddy's family members, including his sons Christian and Quincy, unfollowed Cassie on social media in a show of solidarity with their father, Justin notably did not.
Now, Misa went into full mama bear mode and tore Diddy up on the internet, claiming that Diddy's act bad lifestyle is leading their son down the wrong path.
This small but significant act of defiance has led to speculation that Justin and Diddy's relationship may be strained, with some wondering if Justin's refusal to unfollow Cassie was a subtle way of distancing himself from his father. Could it be that Justin knows more about his own parentage than he's letting on? Or perhaps Justin is simply trying to carve out his own identity in the shadow of his larger-than-life father, a man whose public image has become increasingly tainted by scandal.
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. I mean, how long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come, within the next 2 years?
Whatever the case may be, the rumors surrounding Justin's true parentage have only grown louder in the wake of Diddy's recent troubles. And while there's no definitive proof that Wolf is Justin's biological father, the very fact that people are asking the question speaks to the deep well of intrigue that surrounds Diddy's personal life. If nothing else, this rumor highlights the complicated dynamics at play within Diddy's inner circle, a world where loyalty, power, and family ties are often intertwined in ways that can be difficult to untangle.
We were very young. Our lives changed just like that, really quickly.
As more details emerge about Diddy's past and his relationships with those closest to him, it's clear that the legacy he's built is far more complex than we once thought. Whether or not Justin is truly Wolf's son, the fact remains that Diddy's life has been marked by both incredible success and deep personal turmoil. And as the rumors continue to swirl, one thing is certain: the truth, whatever it may be, is bound to come out eventually. This brings us to the heart of the matter: the dark side of Diddy's rise to power, and the lengths he may have gone to protect the image he spent decades cultivating. The question isn't just about whether Justin is really his son, it's about what Diddy may have done to keep that secret hidden.
Well, Misa was
young, drop dead gorgeous. She was trying to make her way in the business.
Now, if you think the rumor about Justin Combs' true father is wild, just wait until we dive into Sean Diddy Combs' larger legacy of controversies. It's like peeling back layers of an onion, each revealing another scandal, another whispered secret, and a pattern that's been unfolding for decades. We're not just talking about the family drama or the possibility that Diddy's closest confidant, Anthony Wolf Jones, could be Justin's real father. No, we're talking about something much bigger, a dark side to Diddy's empire that many believe has been lurking in the shadows for years. You see, Diddy's rise to fame wasn't just built on catchy beats and chart-topping hits. There's always been an undercurrent of suspicion around how he's maintained his power, especially given the high-profile tragedies and scandals that seem to follow him wherever he goes. We can start with the East Coast-West Coast feud, arguably one of the most notorious and dangerous periods in hip-hop history. This was the era that saw the tragic losses of Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., both of whom were closely tied to Diddy's world. And while Diddy has always maintained his innocence, there are plenty of people who believe he played a much larger role in the events that led to the untimely ends than he's ever let on.
Says that he had his son bring girls over to the parties, usually underage girls.
Let's not forget that during this time, Diddy was the mastermind behind Bad Boy Records, the label that was home to Biggie. Their relationship was more than just artist and producer. They were friends, partners, and two of the biggest names in hip-hop. But when Biggie was taken from us in 1997, questions immediately started swirling about who was responsible. Some even speculated that Diddy's hands weren't as clean as they appeared. After all, with Biggie out of the picture, Diddy's star only continued to rise, and Bad Boy Records cemented its place as a powerhouse in the industry. Now, we're not saying Diddy had anything to do with what happened to Biggie, but the fact that he emerged from that era relatively unscathed while others fell is suspicious, to say the least. Even Suge Knight, who was at the center of the West Coast side of the feud, has thrown shade in Diddy's direction over the years, suggesting that there's more to the story than what's been publicly revealed. And let's be real, when someone like Suge Knight, who's no stranger to controversy himself, starts pointing fingers, people take notice.
I'm listening to all this right there, but Wolf don't care. He said, yo, them ain't like that, I'm telling you. He ain't like that. You understand? Papa was talking about, I don't need you no more. I don't need you no more. You understand? I'm good.
But the story doesn't stop there. Fast forward a few years to 2003, when Anthony Wolf Jones, Diddy's right-hand man, and the very person we've been discussing in connection to Justin, was taken out in a confrontation outside a nightclub in Atlanta. On the surface, it seemed like a tragic but straightforward incident, a disagreement that escalated into something fatal. But as with everything in Diddy's world, there are layers to this story that make you wonder whether things really went down the way we've been told. Wolf wasn't just any bodyguard. He was Diddy's enforcer, the man who handled the dirty work, the fixer who knew all of Diddy's secrets, and as some believe, the man who knew too much. It's no secret that Wolf had a reputation for being deeply involved in some of the more questionable aspects of Diddy's empire. And when someone like that suddenly disappears, people start asking questions. Could it be that Wolf's loyalty was wavering? Had he become a liability to Diddy, someone who knew too much about the inner workings of Bad Boy Records and Diddy's personal life?
Puff beat up till she got up under the... Beat up literally till she tried to run up under the car.
Wow.
There's a theory that's been floating around for years, one that suggests Wolf might have been taken out because he was becoming too dangerous to keep around. Some believe that Wolf had dirt on Diddy's secrets that, if exposed, could have brought down the entire Bad Boy empire. And if Wolf really was Justin's biological father, as the rumors suggest, that would add a whole new layer of complexity to the situation. Imagine the fallout if it had come to light that Diddy had been raising the son of his supposed best friend, all while keeping that friend under his thumb. It's the kind of scandal that could have destroyed Diddy's carefully curated public image. But Wolf's passing wasn't the only tragedy in Diddy's orbit. In 2018, we lost Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner, and the mother of 3 of his children. Her passing was sudden and unexpected, and while the official story points to natural causes, there are plenty of people who aren't convinced. Kim knew Diddy better than almost anyone. She was there through the highs and the lows, the scandals and the triumphs. She was the mother of Christian Combs, and, as some have pointed out, she had a front row seat to Diddy's personal and professional life for over a decade. So when she passed, it left many wondering if there was more to the story.
He was convicted of running a huge criminal enterprise stretching from Atlanta to Detroit and several other states. The story of Big Meech, who headed up the Black Mafia family, is also the source of a popular TV show that has been filmed right here in Atlanta. And this week, after serving nearly 20 years in prison for racketeering, dealing and running a criminal enterprise, he is out of prison.
People close to Kim have hinted that she knew things about Diddy that could have damaged his reputation if they ever came to light. And in the months leading up to her passing, there were rumors that she was preparing to write a tell-all book about her experiences with him, something that, if true, would have sent shockwaves through the industry. Could it be that Kim's sudden passing was more than just a tragic coincidence? Could there have been forces at play, ensuring that her story would never be told? And then there's Cassie, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, who recently filed a lawsuit against him, accusing him of years of mistreatment. While the details of the lawsuit are shocking enough on their own, what's even more interesting is how quickly Diddy settled the case within just 24 hours of it being filed. For someone who's always maintained his innocence, Diddy's decision to settle so fast raises a lot of red flags. Why not fight the accusations if they were completely false? What was Diddy so afraid would come out during a lengthy legal battle?
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
Many believe that Diddy's decision to settle was less about clearing his name and more about keeping certain details out of the public eye. Cassie's lawsuit opened the floodgates, and since then, more people have come forward with their own allegations against Diddy. It's almost as if Cassie's bravery gave others the courage to speak out, and now, Diddy finds himself at the center of multiple lawsuits, each one painting a darker picture of his behavior behind the scenes. One of the most disturbing aspects of these lawsuits is the pattern they reveal. Time and time again, Diddy has been accused of using his power and influence to manipulate those around him, whether it's through his personal relationships or his business dealings. And while he's managed to settle some of these cases quietly, the sheer volume of accusations is enough to make anyone wonder how much longer he can keep the truth at bay.
So Diddy, if you're just joining us here, was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York tonight. Sources tell TMZ Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him.
It's also worth noting that the FBI has reportedly been keeping an eye on Diddy for years. While no formal charges have been brought against him, there's a sense that law enforcement is slowly closing in. The raids on his homes in Los Angeles and Miami earlier this year are just the latest indication that Diddy's legal troubles are far from over. These raids, which were reportedly connected to allegations of misconduct, have only added fuel to the fire. And while Diddy's legal team was quick to denounce the raids as an overreach, the fact that federal agents are involved suggests that this is much bigger than just a few civil lawsuits. As more evidence comes to light, it's becoming increasingly clear that Diddy's reign at the top of the entertainment industry may be coming to an end. For years, he's been able to maintain his image as a music mogul, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, all while keeping the darker aspects of his life hidden from view. But with each new lawsuit, each new accusation, the walls are starting to close in. It feels like we're watching the slow unraveling of one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop, and the question now is, how much longer can Diddy keep the truth from coming out?
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
What's more, the fallout from these scandals isn't just affecting Diddy. His children, particularly Justin and Christian, have been dragged into the spotlight as well. The raid on Diddy's home earlier this year reportedly involved both Justin and Christian, who were detained and questioned by federal agents. While neither of them has been formally charged with anything, the fact that they were caught up in the raid has raised eyebrows. Could it be that the sins of the father are finally catching up with the next generation? Justin, in particular, has found himself at the center of speculation. As we mentioned earlier, his refusal to unfollow Cassie during her legal battle with Diddy was seen by many as a subtle act of defiance. But it's not just about social media drama. Justin has also been dealing with his own legal issues, including a lawsuit over missed car payments and a run-in with the law for driving under the influence. While these incidents might seem minor compared to the allegations against Diddy, they paint a picture of a young man who's struggling to find his place in a world that's been shaped by his father's influence.
Misa claims she's not protecting Diddy anymore. She didn't go into detail on what she meant, but she vowed to protect all of Diddy's children from his karma.
And then there's the question of whether Justin knows the truth about his parentage. If the rumors are true, and Anthony Wolf Jones really is his biological father, that would mean Justin has spent his entire life being raised by a man who isn't actually his dad. The psychological toll of that revelation could be enormous, especially given the complicated relationship Justin already seems to have with Diddy. It's possible that Justin has known the truth for years and has chosen to stay quiet for the sake of his family, or maybe he's just now starting to piece things together as more information comes to light. Whatever the case may be, it's clear that Diddy's legacy is hanging in the balance. For years, he's been able to control the narrative, presenting himself as a self-made mogul who's overcome adversity to become one of the most successful figures in entertainment. But as the lawsuits pile up and the rumors continue to swirl, that carefully crafted image is starting to crack. And while Diddy may have been able to buy his way out of trouble in the past, it's looking more and more like his time is running out.
Incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent until proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent until proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent until proven guilty.
So what does the future hold for Diddy? Will he be able to bounce back from these scandals? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's biggest icons? And more importantly, what will happen to his family, particularly Justin, as the truth continues to come out? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The Diddy we thought we knew is not the whole story. As we watch this drama unfold, it's hard not to wonder how many more secrets are hiding in Diddy's past. Could there be even bigger bombshells waiting to drop? And if so, how will the public react when the full truth is finally revealed? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this ongoing saga.